Hello friends, we're back with a new lineup of fantastic episodes and a new season of On the Couch. We're going to be meeting some new guest reporters along with the ones that you loved last time. And we're going to be chatting with some fantastic entertainers and wonderful community folks. This is a special episode about leather. I've always said that my friends in the leather community are the ones who taught me about family, respect, and honor. There's a lot more to leather than the parties and the sexuality, and hopefully we will shed some light on that in this episode. One of the main topics of this episode is Northbound Leather, a Toronto store that is known worldwide and is a mecca for the leather community. Once every October, Northbound holds a party, and that party is considered the world's largest single-night fetish party. So come join me on the leather couch and let's talk to our first guest. So the big part of the party is the fashion show. And with me on the couch is Paul Ciantar, the producer of the show. Hi, Paul. You're excited about the big day coming up?
I'll be a lot more excited when everything is done. But yes, I'm very excited about this year's show.
You're the producer of the show? Is that your responsibility? Or?
I'm actually producing, directing, writing, choreography, set design, everything for the show.
Wow.
Except designing the clothes.
You're like a one-man show yourself.
Well, yeah, it's what a lot of people don't know is I actually have a background in live theater, and I've also done a little bit of TV and movies. So this was sort of a natural thing for me.
Is this your first year involved? Or?
I've actually been involved with Northbound Leather for a number of years, mostly in a consulting sort of promotional way. But this is my second year actually directing and writing the show.
Who should attend this event? Who attends these events?
Well, as I said, I mean, it's the event is basically a big fetish party, but a lot of people treat it sort of as a costume party because it's also the week before Halloween. So we get everybody, everything from the hardcore BDSM people to the fetishists to just people who want to dress up and be dirty for one night. And some people who just want to go and dance and put on a costume and have a good time. It's really a very diverse crowd.
It's a mixed crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. How has the event changed over the years?
Well, over the years, I mean, of course, the event is going to evolve as people's tastes evolve. This year, we're in a brand new venue. Previous years it was at the Sound Academy.
Okay.
This year it's going to be at the Phoenix Concert Theater. It's a slightly smaller venue, so we're going to make it a little bit more intimate, but it's still going to be, a big fun party.
Yourself, you're a title holder. You've been involved in the community for a long time. Tell us a bit about your history.
I've been involved for a number of years. In 2003, I was Mr. Leather Toronto. In 2004, I was Canadian Leatherman. I've done quite a bit. I host events still every month.
And what was your involvement in the leather community?
Well, up until about 2000, 2001, I just sort of showed up at events and had fun. Okay. But then in September 2002, okay. I was asked to enter the Mr. Leatherman Toronto contest, and that's really when my community involvement really started.
So challenges and winnings over the years in the leather community, what can we talk about that?
Well, the biggest challenge that the community's had to face over the last 10 years has been the rise of the internet, which was the decline of social graces. There's always been a certain way of doing things within the leather community, and people were sort of intimidated to come out because they didn't always know what they were supposed to do, how they were supposed to act, how they were supposed to wear. So then the internet came along, and anybody can be anybody they want, and people were just sort of chatting online and hooking up that way. So it became more and more difficult to bring people out to actually meet and do things and play.
Thank you, Paul. Our star reporter, Kat Grant, will take it from here. She's outside on location chatting with some very special guests.
Hi, I'm Kat Grant. Today I'm going to be speaking with Brad Zahlen of the Heart of the Flag Federation. They are the producers of Toronto Leather Pride here in Toronto. We'll also be joined by the 2016 title holders from the Toronto leather community. Hi, Brad.
Hi, Kat. How are you today?
I'm great. Glad to see you.
Good to see you.
Can you tell me a little bit about Toronto Leather Pride?
Toronto Leather Pride is a week-long event held every year in August. This past year, we had a contest on the Saturday night where we elected 3 new representatives for the city. With me today, we have Mr. Leatherman Toronto, Ms. Leather Toronto, and Toronto Puppy. It's a week-long celebration of diversity and leather king fetish, and a chance for people to just get out and be themselves.
Hi, I'm Shahrazad, and I'm Ms. Leather Toronto 2016.
Brad, tell me what the 3 pillars of your mission statement are.
The 3 pillars of the mission statement are celebration, education, and participation. Really, the whole leather community is about celebrating our diversity and our differences. And we try to encourage that, and we do that through Toronto Leather Pride, which we just talked about, as well as we have an event called Northbound, which is a big fundraising event as well. This past year, we raised $8,000 for the Rainbow Railroad, and that's a big part of our participation. Is we want to be an active member of the community, and we want to be helping others in the community who could use our help. And the educational component as well, we have various educational seminars we have at our events. For example, this past summer we had some on BDSM spirituality, as well as flogging workshops, and just some leather jewelry making workshops.
Hi, I'm Toronto Puppy 2016, Pup Benny.
I know you have a leather ball, which sounds like a lot of fun, and I asked you what you mostly enjoyed about what you were doing earlier, and you were telling me that you want to engage more youth. Could you give the audience a little bit about what you're speaking of there?
Thanks for the opportunity, Kat. Yes, it's become that the leather community is sort of the more older gentleman's sport, just because of the cost of the gear. And we've partnered up with one of our most longest standing supporters, Northbound Leather, and we've produced with their help, a bar vest that anybody could wear. As long as you're a member of the Heart of the Flag, you can have the vest for $120, any size, from extra small to as big as you need to be, and it's unisex. It's a way so that you can at least become part of the community at a very affordable price. We're trying to open the door to anybody who would like to be a part of it.
My name's Brandon. I am Mr. Leatherman Toronto 2016.
I'd like to thank the 2016 Toronto Leather Pride title holders and you, Brad, for being so informative and engaging. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kat. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk about Toronto Leather Pride and Heart of the Flag.
We'll be right back.
And we're back on the couch. Kat, that was a really fantastic segment. And now I have with me Cheryl Kocot,
Yes,
the fashion designer of the show.
that is correct.
Hello, Cheryl.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. What are we to expect at the fashion show?
Oh, there's so much to expect this year. Honestly, the first thing that comes into my mind is that it's very sexy. If I compare last year to this year, there was more elements of humor, also sexy, kind of quirky here and there. But this year, there's more skin, more kink. It's really exciting.
Is this your first time doing this?
No,
Being
actually,
involved in this?
this is my 4th show. Okay. My 3rd show designing it on my own. The first one was called Dream, myself along with 6 other designers, rather.
Okay, this is your whole show this time.
Yes, the
Wow.
3rd time in my own show.
That's
It's a lot of work. but
That's a lot of work and
I
responsibility.
thrive on the hard work.
What's the history of Northbound? What do you know to tell us about Northbound to our audience?
They've always been there. No, they've been around for over 40 years. Everything's made in
40
Canada.
years?
Yeah,
Wow, okay.
a lot of people don't know that.
I actually thought 20. No.
No,
40.
the
Wow.
actual business itself, which was called Leathercraft, before Northbound Leather, yes. Everything's made in-house, is what drew me to Northbound. It's incredible.
Leather garments. What's the fabric challenges? What's all the technical stuff? What drives you crazy? Yeah.
There's a lot. So I do a lot of custom work at Northbound Leather. It's basically you name it, we make it for you. A lot of challenges I have that I come across are people that say, for example, bring me a bra that's made of Lycra. Leather's not going to stretch like that. Leather's not going to fit like that. So there's challenges that I need to sort of either incorporate a stretch for a bra, for example, or mix other textiles in there. Or if somebody wants a chiffon top to drape, leather doesn't do that. So it's just having knowledge on construction and on knowing what different types of leather are going to do.
How has the industry changed over the years?
I find leather has always been a staple item in people's closets, even looking in, mainstream fashion. Every year you look at the trend reports, I do my research, it's always there. Maybe it's more the fetish type of looking things have become more mainstream just because of styles and media. People are more comfortable wearing it out, but it's always been there.
Let's talk about you. What got you into this industry? Where are you from? Where you born? All that sort of stuff. Yeah.
I was from good old Richmond Hill, Ontario. I was born, yes.
Okay.
And I've always been a very theatrical, creative person / child when I was growing up. So I really think that my parents putting me in dance made me more of, I was inspired by sort of costuming and really extravagant type of looks. So I continued that. I started designing for more artists and live performances. And then I decided to go back to school after working in the industry for years. And my first job out of school was with Northbound. So it was pretty amazing.
Thank you, Cheryl, for being on our leather couch.
Thanks for having me.
And everyone, we're going to take a little break. We're going to join the fabulous Ryan Boa on location, and we will be right back.
Ryan Boa here for On the Couch, coming to you from 7 St. Nicholas Street at Northbound Leather. Jeremy, thank you for joining us on the couch. How about you give us some background on Northbound Leather?
So Northbound has been, a factory and a store here in Toronto for probably almost like 50 years at this point. It's a family business. It's been through about 3 different generations at this point. The current owner is George Jarvis, and we've been making customized, we've been making made to measure, we've been making insane, wonderful fetish and fashion pieces for almost 50 years now.
What are some essentials for men and women in the leather community?
For the most part, a lot of leatherware can be categorized into 2 categories. The first is formal wear. It's basically anything that you would be wearing out for the night or anywhere that you would want to dress up a little more fancier or presentable, shall we say. The other one would probably be minimal wear, which is anything that you want to wear when you want to be intimate with somebody or you want to perhaps show off all the work you've been doing in the gym. Let's put it that way. For men, I would probably say for formal wear, you're going to want to get a kind of a full police uniform, which involves a leather police shirt, a good strong tie, possibly a biker jacket, and police pants. And for minimal wear, you're probably looking at, standard jock and harness set. Basically anything that matches, anything that, really shows off the pecs, the abs, the legs. For women, you really want a nice, gorgeous leather dress. Depending on what venue you're going to, that can be anything from like a nice cocktail dress, that can be a floor-length gown, it could be even a nice blazer and pants set. And if you're gonna wanna go minimal, we usually recommend something like bra and panties, maybe a garter, maybe a corset, anything like that.
So Jeremy, since you've told us the essentials for men and women, how about you tell us what's hot for this 2016?
For 2016, we're looking at things that are ready to wear, can be easily thrown on top of anything you want to wear for the day. Something, street fashion, stuff like that. So something we have right now is this beautiful ostrich skin poncho. Basically anything that you're wearing, you can throw this right on top. Perfect for a windy day, perfect for a reveal. I mean, as you can feel, this is real ostrich skin, really good. And basically, you can also make sure that your waist is nice and cinched with this belt right here, which also comes in a variety of colors. And for men, we have this right here. One of the things we're trying to work on right now is making stuff that is not only leather, but actually a mix of leather and other fabrics. So this is actually a cotton twill and leather hood. And then you can kind of just throw this over top a t-shirt. You can throw it over top a tank top even. It's a great little statement piece for when you're just out walking around in the town.
Thank you so much, Jeremy from Northbound Leather, for joining us at On the Couch. I'm Ryan Boa. Till next time.
And we are back, and I wanted to spice things up by inviting Laurence Heath from Northbound Leather to be with me on the couch today. Laurence is a friend. I've shopped with you when you were at Pre-App.
Yep.
I've shopped with you when you're at Northbound. I have volunteered with you on the board of directors of Inspire Awards. This has been like a decade more.
We go back a long time. We're both old.
We're both old.
Well, I'm probably older than you, buddy.
Yes, you are. But, so let's
Don't rub it in.
Let's have an intimate conversation about leather. So you look hot in leather. I've seen you.
You look hot too.
Thank you. What attracts you to leather?
To me, it's just the sexiness of it. I've been attracted to leather my entire life, starting when I was a teenager. Yeah, it's the whole James Dean kind of motorcycle and that. I just find it really sexy. And it's grown over the years.
What was your segue into the leather community? What got you involved?
My leather community, it was kind of starting more by when I started working with Ed Velasquez at Pre-App. I was always, I went to leather events and things like that, but actually as part of the community, I was exposed to the community with customers coming in the store and that, but Ed was asking me about perhaps representing Woody's Pre-App as a contestant.
Oh, you did?
Mr. Leatherman. Yeah,
okay.
I did it in 2008, and I actually was Leather Fellowship.
Is leather sexual?
It is for me.
It is for you.
It depends on the person, right? Like for some people, it's just
fashion.
It's just a fashion. For me, it's definitely a sexual thing.
Okay,
yeah.
So it goes hand in hand with sexuality. The leather or leather has a bad rep. That's just with some people. Let's debunk that. Let's address that.
Okay. I think what people don't realize is that for the most part, we're just people. We're, like everyone else, we have our own likes or dislikes. We have our lives. Depending, there are the extreme people, I think, which is the ones that the media sort of focuses on. The people that are in leather 24/7. They'll and have people bondaged up and tied up for days at a time.
But that's okay if they want to.
It's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
But people get, I think, scared of sort of maybe approaching their own sexuality.
How has the leather community changed over the years?
I'm hoping it's gradually getting more and more inclusive of differences. Okay. The advent of the internet has helped in, sort of people can do their research before, they actually go out. I mean, I did that. Okay. I remember the first time I went to the Black Eagle. I checked out the Black Eagle website and
you did?
I looked at what were their requirements, because they had strict requirements for getting in. It's like that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Laurence, for being with us on the couch.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back.
I'm Christopher Karras, and I have the great pleasure of sitting down with Mr. Spearhead 2015, Craig Goodenough. What does being a part of the leather community mean to you?
Being a part of the leather community means that I get an opportunity to be myself. I'm allowed to show my inner skin that I wear when I'm working on the outside.
I hear that you're part of Spearhead. You're their operations director. Can you tell me a little bit about their mission and their history?
Spearhead Toronto is the oldest leather denim social club that is for men and male-oriented individuals that has been in continuous operation since 1970.
You've overcome many challenges as a visually impaired man. Has the leather community enriched your own experiences?
I believe that the leather community has enriched my experience in the sense that they've saved my life. When I was growing up as a young person, I got to a bad point in my life and almost committed suicide. And it wasn't until I chose to allow my inner Leatherman come to the surface that I sought out the leather community in Toronto and found a very accepting crowd of people that just embraced me and brought me through my troubles.
What are the disadvantages and the positives of being a part of the leather community?
The major disadvantage is working with the muggles, as I like to refer to them, the non-magical people or non-leather people. When we are out in public, not everybody recognizes us as being a positive force in the community. They see us as this leather person that they've grown up thinking is a bad thing. And it's our job to change their minds.
Why do you think they feel that way?
They've grown up with this idea that people in leather are bikers, are into drugs, have a bad seed to share, and as a result, they tend to avoid us where possible.
So, what are those positives?
I think the positives in being part of the leather community is it's actually an extended family. When I'm sick or my husband's sick, we get a card from Spearhead. We get well wishes from friends as well as our own families. And it helps when you're trying to get better, get over an ongoing issue.
So where could anyone find your website?
We're found on the internet at spearheadtoronto.com.
Thank you, Mr. Spearhead 2015, Greg Goodenough.
Thank you very much for having me.
Hi everyone, Christine Newman here, and I'm honored to be chatting today with Master Jack Pierce, a longtime member of the leather community and founder of Heart of the Flag Federation. Jack, in your words, what does it mean for somebody to be into leather?
Well, Christine, it sort of depends on who you ask and when you ask. I mean, there are different forms of being into leather. Leather can be what clothes you wear, it can be about what type of sex you have, and about who you have sex with.
Jack, what's the distinction between leather, S&M, kink, all the various communities?
Well, that's a very interesting question. One can be into leather and wear leather, but not be into BDSM and kink, right? Where one could be into BDSM kink and not ever put a piece of leather on in their whole entire life, and all sorts of combinations in there in between.
I know this is a big topic, Jack, but what are some of the major milestones that have happened in the leather community over the years?
Well, that's a great question, Christine. The leather community has a very long and rich history. We've been around for a long time. Its background started with the end of the Second World War, with men coming back from war and forming strong bonds within groups, and then formalizing those clubs, and then becoming actual forming clubs. In the United States, the Ciantars formed in 1950. Here in Toronto, we had Spearhead forming in 1970, and from there the community has developed and grown into the contests, into play clubs, women and trans clubs, even to just recently where Heart of the Flag, a very inclusive club, started, and we just keep growing and moving.
Let's talk a little bit about your personal history with the Toronto leather community, with Heart of the Flag Federation.
I came out in the mid to late 80s. I was married for 10 years and divorced and came out. And I spent about 3.5 minutes in Toronto's gay community and found the leather community, and we've been together ever since. It's been a great long-term relationship. A lot of what I've done is spent more in the background. I think one of the misconceptions about me is that I'm an extrovert, and I'm not actually. I'm an introvert, and I like being in the background doing all the sort of behind-the-scenes work. And then in the late 2007, there was a need that called me to the forefront, and I ran for one of Toronto's city titles and won that title, and then went on from there to be Toronto's first international title holder, and then it's just continued from there.
You founded Heart of the Flag Federation. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Heart of the Flag Federation was founded in the beginning of 2011. It spawned off of MLTC, which was the Mr. Leatherman Toronto competition, and we took the club together as a group and made it into a very inclusive environment and welcoming everybody, and making it sort of much more formal that way. And we've really grown over the years and really developed, and we've raised money for charity, and we have a good time and produced several really great events during the year.
Jack, thanks for taking time with us today here on a special episode of On the Couch. We enjoyed it very much.
Well, thank you very much for having me, Christine. It's been a really great time.
Excellent. Antoine, back to you in the studio.
Okay, everyone, time to wrap up the show. And if you're a regular viewer, you know that we do that by asking some fast, quick questions. First word that comes to mind when I say leather.
Sex.
Dress.
Fun.
How do you get yourself ready for a night out in leather?
I washed and I decide on my outfit by putting them all out on the floor.
Don't eat.
First, I decide who I want to be that night.
Your favorite movie that showcases leather, S&M, or kink, and please, please do not say 50 Shades of Grey.
An episode of Family Guy.
East of Eden.
Daniel Craig naked, tied to a chair, being tortured in Casino Royale.
What's your favorite leather event other than Northbound?
It would be Resurrection that I attended with my partner for the first time.
Parties at my house.
Mid-Atlantic Leather Weekend in Washington, D.C.
So what do you love about the LGBTQ community?
Diversity.
Diversity.
The freedom to be who you want to be.
And what can we do better as a community?
Remember, we still have battles to fight.
Continue to be accepting.
Relax. Stop judging everybody.
And last words for our viewers?
Be yourself and enjoy.
Come to the Northbound show. It's going to be amazing.
Come out and have a great time.
And there you have it, folks, our special episode of On the Leather Couch. Don't forget, subscribe to our channel and like us on Facebook. Until next time, be good, play nice, and keep smiling.